You ever wake up and see $500,000 floating on your lake and know in your bones it's going to ruin your whole year? That's exactly how this mess started. Me, Wyatt Mallister, standing on my porch in nothing but pajamas and a coffee mug, staring at a $500,000, $1,000 dock glinting in the sunrise like it belonged there, like I hadn't spent my entire life thinking of this lake as family. Nobody asked, nobody warned me. And that was the part that stung the president of the HOA. Joanne just assumed she owned the whole county, even the water my granddad left me. You know what I mean? If you've ever dealt with folks like that, you know they don't back down easy. But I wasn't about to let her walk all over me. Not a chance. You'd think after selling an engineering firm and retiring at 39, life would stay quiet. I kept things simple: books, fishing a lake with no drama, nobody for half a mile in any direction. That peace got shattered the day I heard construction gear screaming across the water, bulldozers, backhoes, workers barking orders like it was Manhattan rush hour, not a country morning. I stumbled outside, still rubbing sleep from my eyes, and for a second I really thought I was dreaming. That dock was a monster, 100 feet long, 2 stories, hardwood stainless railings big enough for a yacht and a summer wedding, and built with the kind of arrogance only money brings. At the end of it all stood Joanne, clipboard in hand, sunglasses on, and an attitude so thick you could have tripped over it. She looked at me like I was an inconvenience she'd stepped in. I tried being neighborly, asked her what she was doing. "This is community waterfront now, sweetie," she says, drawing out every syllable like she's doing me a favor. "I'm making it beautiful for everyone." I could feel my jaw clench. I told her calmly that this was my family's lake private deed and all. She laughed right to my face. "We have all the paperwork. HOA approved. I'm sure we can work something out." Yeah, sure, everyone always seems to mean just them. Rachel Doyle, a retired teacher who lived between us, caught the tail end of that conversation. She leaned in, real quiet, said she'd seen Joanne burning papers last week, green flames, official-looking stuff. Didn't know what to do with that then, but it stuck in my head. The whole day I watched that dock stretch farther out into my water, thinking about that community claim. She really believed if she just acted like she owned it, nobody would fight back. And honestly, part of me wondered if she was right. But then I started digging old property surveys, water rights, every scrap of paper Grandpa ever kept. The law was crystal clear: my lake, my water, my call. No ambiguity. She just hoped I wouldn't check. I tried to handle it civilly, sent a letter with copies of all the paperwork, offered to talk it out, maybe even negotiate limited access if she respected the boundaries. What I got was a letter from some city law firm accusing me of harassment, and emotional distress demanded $20,000 in damages because I'd politely asked her to stop building on my property. I couldn't decide if I wanted to laugh or flip my kitchen table. Suddenly, I was the villain in her story. After that, things went downhill fast. She put up no trespassing signs on my side of the shore, hired private security who stopped me on my own land demanding ID like I was some trespasser. Then came the dark SUVs, tinted windows, slow rolling past my place. She filed police reports, said I was stalking her, claimed she felt unsafe. The local cops came out, took one look at the situation, and basically told her to knock it off, but still it rattled me. You ever try to reason with someone who thinks losing an argument is a crime? I tried every way I knew to be decent. It only made her double down. That's when I realized it wasn't just a dispute anymore, it was war. I started documenting everything. Got a camera, logged every conversation, time-stamped construction, progress, cataloged environmental damage, noise levels, anything that'd help in court. Meanwhile, Rachel brought more news. She'd overheard Joanne screaming on the phone, "Just build it. I'll handle the paperwork later." That told me what I needed to know. Joanne didn't have her permits straight. She just hoped to bluff her way to victory. So I filed formal complaints, sent GPS overlays, even dug into the real estate company that sold her the land. Turns out they'd promised her she could build anything she wanted, conveniently, leaving out the fact she'd need my permission to touch the water. After getting nowhere with local bureaucracy, I went looking for a lawyer who knew property battles. Enter Russell Briggs, 60 crusty, his office stacked high with case files. He took one look at my documentation and called it a slam dunk. "She's trespassing, permits are incomplete, building codes violated, she's got nothing." We sent a cease and desist letter, and I'll admit it felt damn good to finally be the one holding the hammer for once. But Joanne didn't flinch. She brought a whole squad of lawyers, all suits and briefcases, trying to flip the narrative, said if I interfered, I'd be charged with vandalism. Word spread through the local community, mostly online. Turns out I wasn't the only one she'd rubbed wrong. The outpouring of support was a surprise. People shared their own stories about HOA bullies, and suddenly Joanne had a spotlight she didn't want. Even Rachel started recording, caught Joanne screaming at me in the grocery parking lot. Video hit the internet, folks sided with me. But the dock kept growing rushed and sloppy. My engineering gut said it was trouble, weak foundations, cut corners, wouldn't last a real storm. I warned the county, sent emails, but until a formal complaint came through, nobody wanted to act. Then the county finally did. They inspected, found violations, slapped a stop work order on the whole project. Joanne tried to fight the county too, but her own HOA started turning on her. Members complained, meetings got heated, her support vanished overnight. A regional news story dropped, and suddenly folks were paddling kayaks out just to gawk at the infamous dock. Joanne, desperate, showed up at my place. No makeup, voice shaking, asking what it'd take to make this work for both of us. I told her the same thing I always had, take it down, fix the shoreline, apologize. She looked like she'd swallowed broken glass. But just then the weather forecast lit up, major storm system, rolling in winds up to 70 miles per hour. I emailed everyone again, warning the dock wouldn't survive. Nobody listened. The storm hit hard. Trees bent sideways. Rain hammered the roof. Power died. But what got me was the sound from the lake wood, splitting metal, groaning, and through the darkness, I could see that dock, twisting anchors, failing. By dawn, it was all over. Joanne's $500,000 dock was floating out in the middle of the lake, busted free and drifting toward the river. The whole thing looked like the world's most expensive piece of trash. Joanne showed up shrieking, accusing me of sabotage. I tried to explain, but she wasn't hearing it. The county inspector confirmed it, structural failure, inadequate engineering, all my warnings on file. Cleanup fell to the county, too dangerous, too costly, so the dock was declared marine debris. News helicopters showed up, neighbors filmed, and that viral video, Queen of the HOA loses her throne, hit 40,000 views in hours. Joanne was ruined, fined, sued, lawyers, quit, and soon enough, a for sale sign popped up in front of her unfinished cabin. Watching her leave for good, I'll admit I almost felt sorry for her, almost. But people like Joanne don't really learn, they just blame the world for being unlucky. Now the lake's quiet again. I sit on the porch at sunset, water gold in the light. No security patrols, no lawyers, just peace the way it's supposed to be. Did I destroy Joanne's dock? No, Mother Nature handled that for me. Did I warn her? Absolutely. And I've got the paperwork to prove it. Would I do it all over again to protect my family's legacy? You bet. Sometimes the best revenge is just letting arrogant folks destroy themselves. Maybe some fish downriver are getting a fancy new hangout, but as for me, I've got my lake back. And that, friends, is all I ever wanted. But hey, what do you think? Did justice win out? Or was this all just karma on a windy night? Drop your thoughts below. Would you have done the same or walked away? Let's hear your take on HOA drama, property rights, and whether standing your ground is worth the fight.